Good Lord, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast. This is your weekly podcast that delivers a minute-by-minute breakdown of the Transformers movie from 1986. Like how I switched that up there? This is your episode 75, which means we are covering the 1 hour, 14 minute, and 1 second mark to the 1 hour and 15 minute mark. And I am your host, Aaron, and with me are two guys who are, part of my world of cops, a.k.a. the Central Organization of Police Specialists. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we fought crime in a future time. The year was 2000. During a fight with the syndicate leader, the Boss, or Big Boss, I was seriously injured in a car wreck. There was no time to recover, so the scientists from the Overdyne Institute performed an operation that replaced my pulverized torso with a cybernetic computer-enabled one. And because of that, and I had some bullet deflection abilities, and I took on the code name Bulletproof. Well, anyway, as I was saying, with me are two people from my world, and I'll let them introduce themselves, but I'll go ahead and give you their code names. I mean, first of all, there's
not even going to let us pick our own.
There's my second in command, Long Arm O'Malley. They call him Long Arm because of his wrist device that extends out to become a grappling hook or handcuffs.
Long arms.
And then there's also with me one of Big Boss's most notorious henchmen, a.k.a. Buttons McBoom Boom, who sports a kind of fedora zoot suit and packs some major heat in the form of some machine gun titties.
Which one do you want to be?
I want to be the Boom Boom titties.
Boom Boom, that's fine. I was going to pick Long Arm anyway.
Okay.
Because he has a fun romantic story arc.
Oh, does he really? Mm-hmm. It's been so
With
long
one of the
since
villains.
I've actually...
I don't know if it is Boom Boom. I can't remember.
Oh, wait, you're right. That's right. I've got some villain names here. Was it Ms. Demeanor by any chance?
Oh, it could be.
Well,
I loved that show.
By
the way, it's Cops, if nobody knows. Fighting crime in a future time.
I watched it.
I thought the animation and the character design was really cool.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in the study up for this little intro exercise, it's pretty corny in a lot of ways. But the opening theme is pretty awesome.
Cops, Central Organization of Police Specialists. Fighting crime in a future time. Protecting Empire City from Big Boss and his
His
gang.
fucking weasel. When are they going to make a live-action movie of this?
Oh,
That's Long Arm.
it's not. He hates insects.
So good.
That was a good intro.
Yeah, it's like the animation is so dynamic.
I feel like Long Arm's love interest may have been the pan-ethnic redheaded woman.
Okay.
I'm not for sure.
Let me see here.
I remember whoever it was as a child. I have a long history of being attracted to cartoon characters. I remember my first crush being Fern from Charlotte's Web.
That's wholesome.
It was age appropriate.
Well,
It'd be weird now.
All right. Well, I'm the Bullets guy. Hi.
No, he's Aaron's bulletproof.
He's Buttons McBoom.
Oh, the Buttons McBoom
I'm
Boom. Got it.
All right. Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm Buttons McBoom Boom.
Whatever you guys want.
So listen to some of these bad guy names. They're really good. You've got, and by the way, okay,
Everything's an acronym.
So yeah, by the way, I tried to find this. So COPS is an acronym, Central Organization of Police Specialists, which it just feels redundant.
A little bit.
But the Crooks is an acronym as well, but it never really explains what the acronym
crime.
stands for.
Straight off the bat, the description for Big Boss at the very end of his description is weird.
He is portrayed as, we're on Wikipedia,
Yeah.
He is portrayed as being obese, yet is able to walk normally.
Somebody's like, man, that fat guy couldn't walk like that. That's bullshit, cartoon.
So I like some of the names like Rock Crusher with a K.
Oh, yeah. I had to-
Ms. Demeanor. That's a very Carmen Sandiego-esque sort
That's
of villain name.
Yep. She's the one who helps throw the car in the beginning.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Then the woman that you must be talking about is Nightshade.
Deadly.
Oh, she's secretly in love with Mace.
Oh.
Who reforms her after Big Boss kidnaps her younger
it's
sister.
Mace, not Long Arm. I guess I misremembered that. That's right. I think Mace is the guy with the laser bazooka.
Okay, all right. Well, so sorry, the character I assigned you didn't get no play.
God damn it.
Anyway, I wish I remembered more about the show, but
You guys get any of the action figures?
no, I didn't. But
No.
they look terrible. Also,
And maybe that's part of it, but I'm surprised this didn't catch on more. In the same way of like, I'm shocked that Dino Riders wasn't more popular. Because they seem like a no-brainer, like great ideas.
Why can't people like the things that you like?
No, I'm not saying that at all, but yes, they should.
That packaging is terrible on the cops.
Yeah, they are
the
bad.
packaging looks bad. The characters look like the
Yeah, it's
worst.
not-
Honestly, that might be the reason, is the toys were bad. Because all the other like 80s shows that were popular were made to sell toys.
And I mean, Transformers in most cases didn't look anything like the
True.
animated counterparts, but in this situation, like there should have been easy.
Yeah, they're humans.
and well,
And they don't turn into
and
other
they're
things.
cartoony. Yeah, and so
But the packaging just sucks.
yeah,
bad.
it looks cheap.
It looks very cheap.
Like
cheap.
they look like knockoffs.
Yeah.
But the toy line is actually called Cops and Crooks. And so if I think if you find a bad guy character, it'll say like and crook.
Well, that
and
logo
crooks."
isn't even the same as the one in the show.
Yeah, it's everything looks awful, and it might also be. I think it was also a comic book. I don't know if it was a Marvel comic book, but great shows. I remember it. Great animation. But I don't remember any of the storylines.
The only thing
characters. I didn't know about the love interest.
That's the only one I remember.
I only remember one thing is where there was
Hasbro.
a special episode where some bad guy that was not the Crooks organization was dealing with drugs and like Big Boss was like, Big Boss doesn't do drugs, and they teamed up.
We don't deal with drugs.
Yeah, and they teamed up, and
That's
and,
awesome.
and
So 80s.
sure. Was
Nancy
this,
Reagan was very pleased with that episode.
Yeah, so that was the whole say no.
Let's see what year. Let me figure out the year it came out here. 1988 was
to
the
89 for a total of 5 months.
There's 65 episodes.
God damn.
Wow. It does seem like the kind of show that would have been rebooted by Cartoon Network or something in the 2000s.
Wait a minute.
What?
So that's from October 5th to February 20th. That's like a not quite a 5-month period.
I guess so.
And
But
they
it was probably
cranked
picked
out
up in
65
syndication.
Yeah, I think it ran on
episodes?
CBS originally.
That's amazing how many cartoons people used to crank out.
Well,
Turbo Two-Tone.
oh yeah,
Squeaky Clean. Cuckoo.
hyena. Just the fucking name of an animal.
Animal.
Let's not forget about the Bugman. Small guy.
There's a Big Mama character. Let me read that real quick and see if it also mentions that she's fat, but she
Oh, it's
can
Big
walk,
Boss's mother.
But she could walk up
And
normally.
Berserko's grandmother. She
No.
is blind to the fact that her son is not as skinny as she thought to have been.
That doesn't make sense.
I think it's poorly written.
She once visited Empire City. He had to cover up his criminal side by stating he's a philanthropist and even started an orphanage with his
I
henchmen
get it.
posing as orphans.
That sounds hilarious. That was a very funny episode.
All right, well, that's Cops, everybody. They didn't have the character naming prowess of a Bob Budiansky.
Bob Budiansky, his name is came up with High Beam. Didn't know that was a female whose nipples were erect.
Did you know Bob Budiansky did not come up with the name Optimus Prime?
I did.
Oh, well, then I guess we're done here.
I just recently rewatched the Toys.
Oh, did they mention it on there?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I can't remember who it was that came up with it, but he does mention specifically, I did not come up. Bob Yansky says I did not come up with Optimus Prime.
Hey, but he didn't kill it.
He did come up with Megatron.
Yep. He has very childlike handwriting, as I recall, like a high school kid.
Like he writes with a crayon?
Yes, and the R's are backwards.
No.
Lots of typos.
Yeah.
Or whatever the handwriting version of that
Sure.
is. Okay, everybody. A little bit of news. An update, rather.
Dateline. Transformers. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. The Autopod Decepticast has news. Let's go to press.
Hey, everybody. A little news update.
All right.
Not really an update, just a reminder.
Ah.
That's a better way of putting it.
Good.
So wrap a string around your finger.
Anybody still do that?
And remember that
Did anybody ever do that?
are going to be at TFCon 2018.
That's right, man.
In Chicago.
That's right.
We still don't know what the schedule looks like.
Well,
It's almost like we're just recording this after the last
no,
one.
we should say we've got a little bit more things figured out now.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Coming along.
We've got all of our sketches written.
Yeah,
We've got our game show elements
Yeah.
completely
Yeah,
refined.
see?
Yeah, see?
It's gonna be great. And so what will we be doing, guys?
I think we're probably going to just turn all of this into a cops-themed presentation.
Oh, what a great surprise
twist.
that would be for the audience.
Yeah, a huge...
That those three guys
They
in
would
the
hate
audience
that.
get up and leave.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll call it the Coptopod
Coptopod.
Cryptocast.
Cryptocast.
Perfect.
Ooh, boy. You can
That's in the books.
You can't cut this shit out if you
That
want
is once it's laid, it's played.
And it's going to be us doing what we do, talking about the movie.
Poorly.
I'm sure it's going to be fun. Actually, I've already got some clips edited.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Shit.
Yeah, even though we haven't even really had our internal pitch sessions.
I've got some stuff written down.
a little behind the curtain
I've
there.
got some great concepts for interactive
Oh, that is
game
true.
shows.
Yeah. Caleb might be in charge of the game show element completely.
Oh, what if we put Caleb in charge of everything, and then we get there and he's like, I planned nothing.
Yeah. I'm just like, it's all good, guys. We're just going to wing it. It's all good.
So yes, I don't know if I clearly stated, we will have a spot on the schedule at TFCon 2018 in Chicago. We're going to have about an hour to riff, and so come out and see us. We would probably need your support in the audience, so it doesn't look like we're just total homeless schmoes.
Homeless schmoes.
Yeah. We're going to try to get some merch together.
Yeah, no,
Of
we
course
will
we
definitely
are.
have some
Yeah.
together.
Don't say try. There's no try.
Well, I don't want to
There's only do or do not.
Okay. Fair enough.
We'll do it.
Stupid.
So that's
I was trying to give us an out in case we just were.
No, I think
we
we'll
couldn't.
definitely have some stuff.
your out is. I think we'll have.
I think we'll have merch.
And then people show
Welcome.
up. Oh, we'd love a T-shirt. Well, I said I thought we
I
had.
thought maybe, but nah, we didn't have it. We don't have it.
So I have legally, you cannot hold me culpable.
That's right. You can't be mad at me for that.
2018.
Guys, Fruity
TFCon.
Pebbles.
Yeah. Okay. That's a wrap.
Do it. All right. So TFCon 2018, October 26th through 28. We'll be there. Hopefully, our thoughts will be a little more coherent than they
will
just
be.
were.
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
We will be there and
Actually,
be
it is gonna
square.
We're really excited.
It is going to be great. We have been planning it for the last few weeks,
Yeah.
and it's we've got some great ideas that we're going to bring. It's going to be of course, the vein and personality of what you hear, but it'll be different altogether. Yet this,
some more interactive elements too.
We
It'll be
will
awesome.
definitely not spend 5 minutes every episode talking about it.
yes, we will. So last episode recap: Springer and RC fired at Daniel, or the claws surrounding.
They did not
Daniel.
fire at him. They fired.
I think
They
they
Really trying
fired.
to make that happen.
There's a dispute among the three of us about how that worked out. RC unleashed a typhoon of Unicron saliva, which overtakes our team. We don't really know what that is, but
Did you
could
say
be
saliva?
Yeah.
Saliva.
Well, you said it was female ejaculate.
Yeah. Because that's fucking hot. And
Yeah.
Daniel is separated from the team and happens upon some kind of absorption chamber with an acid pit, and his father Spike on the docket for digestion.
That's right.
So that takes us to the top of this minute, and we have just seen, leading into this also, a horrifying display of some nameless piece of shit robots.
2 of them.
Melting away to their doom. And Daniel, at this point, yells to his father, "Dad!" And Spike acknowledges him. Daniel!
Like in a panic.
I felt like the acting in here
is
is really good.
Yeah, he's freaking out. And I won't blame him. It's just... it's
rough.
This stuff bothers me because he's like about to get dropped in acid.
Imagine
I know he's not, but it's like disturbing.
Well, like Caleb, if you can do a little theater of the mind here, if you can put yourself like having Harrison having to shoot down the acid cover to prevent you from being melted alive.
And you know what a worthless piece of shit he was last time you saw him. Like, Spike's
Wait,
been on
Harrison?
the moon base.
Wait,
Spike's been on the moon base.
wait.
You've been on the moon base for months. Last time you saw Harrison, all he was doing was like fishing really poorly.
I'm confused. Are we talking about my son?
We're talking about you.
He's the piece of shit?
I'm confused.
Who's a shit piece?
I just need to know if you're calling
I'm just saying, okay, Spike has been on a moon base for months.
Yes.
Well, we don't know how long. Daniel, last time we saw him, couldn't even fish. And now...
Well, I didn't want to fish.
We just hope, if we're Spike, that our child has grown and matured and developed skills.
I mean, it's got no other choice.
He definitely couldn't rocket board.
He's desperate at this point. He's just, what else is he going to do?
That's all he's got. So Daniel's freaking out. He says, "Dad, what can I do?" And Spike replies, "Knock down the acid cover." He says it a little bit more.
Knock down the acid cover!
How?
Blast it, son!
But I don't have a gun.
Oh, no! Use your exosuit!
So I'm going to pause for a second in the storytelling because let's talk for a second about who's riding along with Spike.
Those guys that melted, obviously.
There's the Melty Guys. Yeah. It seems, if I pause right at the very first scene that we see, I'm trying to find it. Maybe it was back in the previous minute. We see a character who looks like... Oh, right, never mind. Pause. So paused at 1:14:07. Here's a character that looks very much like Beachcomber.
It does look like Beachcomber.
And I compared the animation models, like the color placement, and even though there's not a lot of detail, like the details that there are very Beachcomber-y in visual appearance. God, I can't talk sometimes.
That's honestly, whenever you paused it, and before you even said it, that's what I thought of. Because also you can see a little peak of yellow, like kind of on
on his chest or like a torso area. It is right where the same peak would be for Beachcomber. So we'll assume that is maybe supposed to be Beachcomber.
Who has not been seen in the movie.
That's true.
And was not on moon. Well, may have been on the moon base. I don't know.
We see Bumblebee. We see Jazz. We see then Cliffjumper. They're all in the line. And there's also another yellow Transformer behind him who is thought to be, quote, Bumper, who is a character we never saw on the series ever. He's basically a yellow... Well... He's a yellow version of Bumblebee. He's another yellow car like Bumblebee that has a different head.
Why does anyone think that's who it is?
I think because there's no other explanation. I think it's
Couldn't it just be a random person?
Exactly. I think it's probably meant to be a random robot, but people want to make that connection.
Sure.
So I just want to note that I'm 90% sure that the animators intended that for it to be Beachcomber in front of it.
You think so?
In front.
No, I know. I'm just like, you really think... Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, we just saw it.
Now,
I'll buy it.
Do you think they just decided to, let's select the Beachcomber to put it in here, even though we don't know where he came from?
Like the design, just to throw it.
Well, maybe it is that. But I mean, I guess to rephrase, I'm 99% sure that is Beachcomber's animation model.
Right, animation model, yeah. Yeah, I've never actually noticed that before.
I can get behind that because, hey, some days you just run out of ideas and we're like, let's just use one of the existing designs of a Transformer.
They're just like 52 card pickup. I picked up Beachcomber. Here we go.
It's like they just throw Transformers.
Some days, you can't get rid of a bomb.
It's like let's just throw Optimus up there. What the hell?
Well, jumping ahead though,
that would be amazing.
What that means though is Beachcomber was just murdered because he is dropped in because there are characters dropped in, and
is he in season 3?
Is he one of them?
I don't know.
Is he one of them that's melting in the vat that we see?
No, he's not. So he was just
one
guy in between those guys
Right.
before Spike.
I will have to say, whoever was the last guy to fall in before Spike.
Oh, what an unlucky time!
What an unlucky bastard.
I've got a script deviation on that. Actually.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Exciting.
So at this point, after Spike suggests that maybe the exosuit is the solution to this problem, Daniel fiddles with control panels on the exosuit.
Thinking.
That effort is wasted because the combination of buttons he presses causes flames to kind of emit out of his elbow exhausts. Spike is even more terrified at this point.
Hurry!
And again, we talked about it before, but just a great job of making Spike look like freaked out.
The animation's good, and the acting, I feel like, is really good.
Absolutely.
God, this is tough for me to watch.
Once again, Daniel is standing at a computer panel.
Yeah.
By the way.
Also, why can't Spike blast it?
Oh, there's
That is true. Maybe
Maybe he's out of energy.
It's
Maybe
too
the
late.
suit's
Yeah, it could
like
be.
drained.
It could be.
Maybe he doesn't have Maybe he doesn't have a good shot to actually shut the door.
Or he could just shoot the thing that is holding him.
Yes.
But then he wouldn't fall to his death
Then we
because we've
would-
already seen Daniel fall a
Sure.
lot bigger height than that.
I think we're just gonna go with his suit's out of power.
There we go.
But I guess the life support's still working.
So he's in front of the computer panel and.
Well, at this point, Daniel, after Daniel flubs his first attempt here, he touches a button on his chest, which creates sort of a transformation sequence.
Nice.
His hands flip towards his elbows, revealing barrels of some kind of a gun that were hidden in his forearms, although they look a little bit more like rocket exhausts to me. But Daniel fires at this sort of piston prop, which is keeping half of the lid to the acid pit open. A few well-placed shots, this prop is destroyed, and the lid begins closing down.
And Spike drops, followed by Bumblebee, and to Daniel thinks he's watched his father die.
Did we see? Was that Ironhide behind Jazz?
That's Cliffjumper.
Cliffjumper. Okay.
Cliffjumper behind Jazz. It's a very tense scene because you see them dropped. You switch to an overhead shot of the people falling towards the acid pit. I guess we presume that's Spike's POV, exactly. And the screen goes black as we hear the clanging of the steel lid closing. You know, I guess, so is this meant to be the end of our friend?
Did he die or not?
Does Spike die?
Does Spike die?
So I thought they did a great job building tension at this point. The acid pit is kind of like an above-ground pool.
Yeah.
In that it's shitty and nobody wants it?
Yeah, it's like a hot tub. It's just full of muck and filth.
And Ryan's
cum.
Everything.
I'm going to go get in that hot tub.
So Daniel runs up to the wall of the acid pit, but the movie takes a pause. Daniel turns away in anguish as if to sort of expect the worst.
Yeah.
And a moment later, Spike emerges and joyously yells out,
Daniel! You did it!
So, like I said, if that was Beachcomber, he dead because we get an overhead shot of the team that is alive, and it's just 4 Autobots standing there, Bumblebee, Jazz, and Cliffjumper.
It's half closed, okay?
Yeah.
I want to imagine these guys are like waving at Daniel, and there's still guys behind that that continue to drop into the vat.
Oh, I don't think... In my mind, even as a kid, that bothered me. This whole scene bothered me in a lot of ways, but I just assumed that they also were falling onto that lid.
They
Because
should just be piling up
Exactly.
with, like, saved characters.
I like that.
So, where am I here?
I got a bit about the next second where we see Daniel's face in the close-up.
Oh, do you?
Go ahead. You need to look at it.
The only thing that... I've been wishy-washy about Daniel, as you know, but at this point I like him again.
Oh, he's only saved I don't know, 5-6 people's lives.
I like him.
Point.
I just think that everyone surrounding him has been completely careless and irresponsible,
Very negligent
to get him where he is right now.
Absolutely.
He's had to rise above a lot.
Now I do understand that he has, as a result, has saved a bunch of people,
but should never have been in that position.
But good God. he's had a hell of a time in the past, I don't know, what would this say, 24 hours, 48 hours?
Yeah, this all takes place in like a 3-day weekend.
Yeah. And kept a pretty good humor about it.
Goes back to school on Monday.
Well, I might have something to say about
Daniel.
that.
Is this Memorial Day weekend or something?
How was your weekend? Fine. Everything's fine.
I thought my dad was dead for a while.
I helped save the universe. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Push.
Fuck you. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I feel like might have something to say about Daniel's mindset.
Okay.
That may have I think it may have just broken. Because if we pause right here at 1 hour, 14 minutes, 37 seconds, where we see Daniel say, "I did it," and he should be happy. His face does not express what he should be feeling. Like, it's just like a deadpan. He's not smiling. He's got dead eyes, and then the camera pushes in. And if you just put like the Omen music over that,
he's got what's called the 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, I feel like that's his psychotic break, where now he becomes he's definitely a psychopath.
He's got that. I guess D could be for PTSD.
Oh no.
That would be a good one. PTS, like on his shirt. PTSD.
We certainly should make a joke about that very real problem.
Maybe I can finally go viral.
In the bad way. These stupid jokesters think they can make humor out of the tragedy of American soldiers and what they suffer through.
I'm like, well, yeah. It's pretty funny, guys, isn't it? And I've explained the whole movie and stuff just to set it up.
So here's the deal, guys. So there's this
That's you in an
Daniel,
interview?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really crazy things that happen to this kid in the movie, and you'd think. That...
And I just play clips of Autopod Decepticast After Dark for no reason,
which is going to be the cause of PTSD in your son's life. Since we hear his voice after every episode of Autopod Decepticast.
It bothers me quite a bit, but I'm game.
You're trumped. We care less about the well-being of your son than
I actively hope that it's a problem.
Hey, here's what I'm fine with it. But what sucks is I want to play him sometimes. Like, look, this is you at the end of the episode. Most of the time, I can't because right before it is something that has to do.
Cum titty jism.
Yeah, so I can't really play him anything at all.
I wish that we had developed the character of Autopod Decepticast After Dark as sort of a psychopathic second character of Ryan's, like a multiple personality.
Oh. I was thinking of like a sister podcast.
Yeah, Ryan was a
still can't do that.
It never works. Like, that's why it's so good. Is because at 3 minutes at a time, it's hilarious. Any longer than that, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, it does.
It all tastes like beans.
Yeah.
It's like every other SNL movie that came out in the 90s.
I think we can go with every
character that. I don't know. Wayne's World 1 is a classic.
That's true. The one good one.
So at this point...
Sorry, Night at the Roxbury. Shots fired.
God, I can't believe that was turned into a movie.
Good lord.
Or Stewart Saves the... I like Al... Well, I can't like Al Franken anymore. I used to like Al Franken as a liberal radio host, but now, that movie... The fact that movie was made was...
That's, a weird choice. Like, they were just like, oh, Wayne's World was popular. Let's throw everything at the wall.
Yeah, well, I think the ones that really came out of that were, like, the Adam Sandler movies and the... Chris Farley movies.
But they weren't based on SNL characters. They just were breakout performers.
Based on the comedians, yeah.
What were Blues Brothers? That's probably looked at as a good movie, right?
Was that on SNL?
I think so.
Yeah, their characters were on. Yeah, they performed. Did not know that. They performed.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I like.
It's an enjoyable movie, I should say.
I do like that. I do.
Also, all the sequels, great.
There's just one, right?
There's more than one.
Blues Brothers?
Yeah, there's more than one sequel.
There's more than one sequel? There's
absolutely.
Blues Brothers 2000, and that's it.
Nope.
You're shitting me. There can't be
another. In fact, I feel like there's a recent one.
I'm only seeing Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah, I do not think there's another Blues Brothers.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I guess I may have dreamed it.
You and your fever dreams.
All right. Well, maybe I wished it. I'm like, oh, if only we'd have a third bite at the apple.
There are fewer SNL movies than I thought there were.
Because they were like, oh, these don't make money anymore.
So, Blues Brothers, Wayne's World, and it was a long time between Blues Brothers and Wayne's
Coneheads. I
World.
forgot that was a...
Coneheads, which has a 33 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's too bad.
I remember enjoying that movie, but I was also like in my 20s.
It's Pat's got a 0.
It's Pat has I think that's a character I cannot believe that I don't even know how that could have been registered as a popular character. It was one of the most annoying.
Oh yeah.
Stewart saves his family again. Night at the Roxbury, 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Blues Brothers 2000, Superstar. I can't believe that was
That's
another
insane.
Yeah.
The Ladies' Man, can't believe that was made. And MacGruber,
which is like a joke about something very specific. It's a parody of a character that you're now making a movie about.
Yeah.
Well, they're all one. The only one of these, with the exception of Wayne's World and Blues Brothers, and maybe Coneheads. Well, but even Coneheads, it's a one-note joke.
Yeah, it's like a very...
make
There's a reason it's funny in a 2-minute skit.
douchey nightclub guys, androgynous person, Stewart's... Well, I don't know. I guess Stuart Small... Like that, actually, Stewart Saves His Family has the opportunity, I think, to be complex. But that was a character nobody really liked, I don't think.
I feel like they all have an opportunity to be, but like the fact that they're SNL bits, it's like you've already hamstrung yourself because you have to include like, oh, remember all this popular shit? I remember like the thing about
as an 85 though.
The thing about the Coneheads that is never like every time I think of that movie, the only thing I think of is the girl like inhaling in a really bad CGI way that Subway sandwich.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
I don't think I ever saw the movie.
Oof, I jerked off to it.
The
Look
only,
at that smooth ass head.
The only thing about the Coneheads that I find memorable is the Red Hot Chili Peppers song "Soul to Squeeze."
I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Nope.
It was a Chili Peppers song. It was a Dave. I think that was when Dave Navarro was in the group after John Frusciante left.
That's right.
And it was a hit single from the soundtrack to this movie. It had a great video. And
the Red Hot Who now?
Yeah, I forgot.
Where do we go? SNL.
So we shift to another more cavernous part of Unicron.
Yes, we're back to Galvatron and Hot Rod.
And we see Galvatron overhead from afar. He's looking around. He's looking for Hot Rod. And he says, "Come out, Autobot. We all must die sometime." Mm-hmm. And Hot Rod comes around from behind and says,
"Not today, Galvatron!"
So Hot Rod knocks Galvatron to the ground with a
pretty punch in the face.
Ripping uppercut there.
I feel like this was actually also, and I'll say this in several times, I feel like this whole thing is intentionally, like a lot of it mirrors the fight with Prime and Megatron.
Oh, well, there are definitely some callbacks.
I feel like even that line, "Not today, Galvatron," seems a little like, "No, you don't, Megatron."
Yeah, I can see that. So Hot Rod then transforms into a car.
Oh, thank God.
Drives a short distance.
Finally, somebody's...
Finally, excellent use of the alt mode.
Yeah.
They should have just called this movie Robots.
Pretty much.
Robots mostly not in disguise.
Yeah.
So he drives a short distance, pulls a 180, peels out, and speeds towards Galvatron, who tries to dodge, but just can't quite get out of the way there.
Awesome.
You get another interior shot of an Autobot, and he's again he has an Autobot branded steering wheel.
I'm trying to remember. How much does this look like the interior shot we saw earlier? Before? Yeah, because we see Daniel inside of him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, similar enough. I feel like I can't. Oh God, now I can't remember. But I feel like the steering wheel was more like Kit, where it was like a plane steering wheel, but maybe it was like an automobile steering wheel. I can't remember.
I think the Autobot insignia steering wheel that we did see that was Prime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway,
it's a nice touch.
Bam!
And it spins the right way.
Yep.
Galvatron goes flying. He somersaults into recovery and immediately fires off a couple of arm cannon shots in Hot Rod's direction. And that
Hot Rod pulls a nice move.
Oh, yeah.
Does a flip. Oh, yeah.
That's in the next minute.
Well,
don't give it up.
He was talking about the barrel roll he does around
that he's doing right now.
Yeah, that's...
At 2 seconds in.
Oh, did you go over?
When I saw it, it was at 59, but
sorry.
that's fine.
Maybe you're right. I think we ended it like right. right there.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Damn.
That is the next minute.
All right, my bad.
That's all right.
I have some stuff to talk about with that too. It's very cool. The fighting in this minute and the next minute, I think, are really good.
I think they're good, but it doesn't feel as epic to me as the Prime Megatron.
I can't imagine why. Yeah,
that's fine. I mean,
but it's the final battle of the movie. It feels like it should be like crazy, but I guess
we don't have the baggage. We don't have the baggage with this fight.
You don't have the emotional baggage, but I would think you would still want the action. Like you would still want the really cool, unique fighting sequences. That I feel like there are some cool things going on here. I just don't think there's as much cool stuff.
I think I know what you're getting at. I think yes, there's more grappling and like hand-to-hand fighting with Megatron and Optimus, but I think that, and unintentionally or not, I think that is because Megatron and Optimus are more balanced. They're more on the same playing field, whereas
true.
Hot Rod's certainly not as strong as Galvatron.
Yeah, we'll get into it in the next minute, but you're right. Like he gets some lucky shots off here, but I think in reality he would probably die if it
and Galvatron again in the next minute shrugs off pretty easily some of Hot Rod's attacks.
That's true. And maybe if I'm complaining about the fact that this one singular fight doesn't feel very epic, but right outside in space is a giant robot.
This is a battle,
fighting a bunch of stuff. There's a lot going on.
This is a battle within a battle.
It's true.
It's literally. It's a battle within a man with a man. It's a battle within a robot fighting a battle.
It's true. Mm-hmm. I think in the next minute there's going to be something you'll find sad, Caleb.
Okay. All right.
You said that with like a sexy.
No.
Yeah, that's the only way I can get off is if someone's sad. I have a real life girlfriend,
including yourself. Usually,
yeah. I'm usually just like weeping and jerking off in the corner.
Ryan just goes to funerals of people he doesn't know.
Ooh,
oh man, there's nothing that gets me more turgid.
Don't go this way.
Corpse.
Don't like it. You guys have been on a roll these past few episodes.
I feel like maybe I am just horny.
I've been fueling the fire.
It's true. You've been stoking it. Like usually you both kind of try to shut it down.
Sorry.
Oh well, let's get on to this.
Maybe it's time for some
Deviations.
Listeners will know that Aaron and Ryan both have separate sets of script deviations that they draw from. Me, Aaron, mine's a little closer into what we see on screen, but there are still some unique elements worth noting. And then, Ryan, he's got an early Friedman, uncut, raw,
fever dream,
pure.
I think it's like the second energy. Draft, yeah.
And so he's got the crazy stuff. I'm going to go first so that his crazy can, and hopefully last week he didn't even actually have anything.
True.
So do you have something this week?
I do.
Let's not let people down with
I have something.
False expectations. Okay, so I'm going to go first. And in my version of the script, Daniel does not fire at a prop that's holding up the lid to the acid pit. Rather, it's funny because Caleb had said something earlier. What was it you said? Thinking.
Like Daniel's always like,
because he has to think about what the suit's going to do.
Yeah. So in this version, he concentrates really hard in his suit, which creates a spark that grows longer and longer, and he uses it to fry the computer command console right next to him. So that kind of did have a purpose
kind of
there.
the console.
But as he tries to fry it, Cliff Jumper is.
Sorry.
Somebody's doing a little tinkle.
Ryan's pouring a drink.
As he tries to fry it, Cliff Jumper is dropped into the acid.
Oh no!
So yeah.
Jesus Christ! So they're just like, I guess not enough Transformers or Autobots have died. Let's one more.
So Cliff Jumper's the unlucky Autobot.
Right, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
And Daniel keeps firing upon the computer console. Daniel says he can't stop it, but finally that panel explodes, and right at that moment, Jazz, Bumblebee, and Spike are dropped in. Now, there's no lid on this thing. So when he explodes the console, the moment plays out, kind of like what we saw on screen. There's a pause of like, did they make it or not? Yeah. But the three are still alive. But rather than closing a lid on top of it, what he did was drain the pool, so to speak. And so the shot from overhead is meant to be like you're looking up inside the pool, and they're at the bottom, and it's drained, and they're a little steamy and all that kind of stuff. But they're not eaten by the acid.
Well, now I'm just thinking like there's definitely like a half-dissolved Cliff Jumper screaming at the bottom.
Kill me!
Oh, kill me!
So that's the main difference in my version of the script. Ryan, what did old Ronnie Freed say about
Let's hear this.
back in
Let's
these
hear
times?
this. Of course, he didn't have anything previous.
I did not have anything on the last minute because there is no like.
Where did we leave off at the last minute?
Well, it's still Galvatron and Hot Rod fighting, basically.
Inside of Unicron.
So,
I will recall that Hot Rod got in there through Unicron's ear.
That's correct.
I guess you're picking back up at the fight.
Yeah, because basically this is right after
Gotcha.
Galvatron, like Unicron just swallowed Galvatron to go get Hot Rod.
Yeah.
And so we're down.
And there's no other Transformers.
No other
inside
Transformers inside Unicron
at this point. Okay.
With this script deviation.
That's right. And I will say I only have 9 pages left of script to go.
Wow.
For the end of the.
How long was this script?
179 pages.
Holy Christ.
So Galvatron launches himself down on Hot Rod, who is stunned, and rolls over the edge of Ingestor's ribcage structure, grappling over with Galvatron. And then we cut back to Blur, who, if you remember, is like running around Unicron shooting flames out of the back of his chassis. Blur shoots flames moving down Ingestor's chest toward the midsection as Ingestor's hand looms up behind him, and Perceptor says, "Blur, look out behind you!" As the hand covers the area with a loud smacking sound, and then the hand moves out of the shot and smashes the remains of Blur against his belt.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm like, God damn it.
It's intense.
Christ. Then we're back to Hot Rod and Galvatron. Hot Rod and Galvatron rolling into shot hand to hand. Galvatron brings his knee into Hot Rod's chest, kicks him over, and then pulls a laser knife out of his boot, which again is very Megatron from this early in the script. Hot Rod sidesteps that laser knife, and then he gives him a karate slice to the side of Galvatron's neck, spinning him around. That's right. Hot Rod gives a sharp right cross, which sends Galvatron to one knee, and then he gives a sharp uppercut, which makes Galvatron fall backward. Hot Rod leaps onto him, and that's where we'll end that deviation.
That already sounds way cooler than what we've seen on screen.
Yeah.
I like the boot knife.
Yeah. It's kind of like
What's it like?
well, like a boot knife kind of gets you. Oh, fuck.
What?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say a bad. I was trying to figure out a better way of saying, like, a bad guy's gonna cheat and pull a boot.
Well, I feel like that is a trope. Like I'm sitting here struggling myself. Like, what movies involve an unexpected boot knife situation?
Yeah, I don't know. So I just forget about it.
Well, guys, I know he's on tour. I kind of miss him.
Oh gosh.
I
hear he's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard
think
some
he's
bad-
You don't? Oh, you heard something else?
No, I heard something about it. A run in. Like a crazy party at a hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Well, have you ever hung out at a haunted party?
Wait, so was it a monster mash?
Just like a monster.
It was a mash or a
Yeah.
bash.
There was all.
It was a late night after the tour. There were so many ghouls that I wanted to score.
Yeah, I think some things went a little crazy, and from what I heard, he's got put in jail.
What?
Yeah.
Still there? No
Goes
bail?
to jail.
He got out. He's got a good lawyer, but.
Perry Moose.
Yeah.
That seems like he's a moose.
Mootlock. Moot. Yeah, I don't know.
These are both.
I'm not
terrible.
I'm
Bad.
not good.
Yeah. If I had anything prepared, I would have figured out something for that. So yeah,
Atticus Foons.
I don't know, but things are fucked up. Is all I know right now, and so we'll see what happens.
Things are. We'll put that on That's the call. That's the pull quote from this episode. Things are fucked up. We'll see.
Wow. Well, I hope this isn't leading to something really crazy down the line. I mean, I hope that he turns his life around. Not that it was ever in a good place as long as I've known him.
His afterlife around.
All right, well, then let me just hit my DJ button so we can kick off this segment.
do
We can.
I'm the ghost of the iconic moment.
So, guys, in absence of the ghost, what's your iconic moment of this minute?
I will just say, fucking Daniel saving his dad beat Cliff Jumper and Jazz.
Yeah, I think the look on Spike's face as he's staring at death is pretty.
Again, I've said this a
image.
couple times, but I can't remember the name of the actor who plays Spike. But like his performance in that really got me. Like, it was really
Mr.
good.
Corey Burton.
Thank you.
Who also did Shockwave.
Oh no, Transformers! Female Transformers.
Caleb, you have anything different to add to that mix?
I'll back that up.
I'm totally not surprised. What?
Jesus.
I mean, it just sounded so shitty the way he said it, but I know you didn't mean it that way.
No, I meant it
he
that
did.
way.
Oh, okay,
He
great.
did.
Great. I'm not surprised.
Next time on the Autopod Decepticast.
The Galvatron and Hot Rod face-off continues. Things will be crushed with bare hands. And I mean, like,
Hopes,
not bare
dreams.
hands, like big old paws.
Yeah.
My name's
I do like the idea of having a spoof on the Face-Off movie where Galvatron and Hot Rod are somehow changing.
They switch faces.
I do like this.
But you'd have to change bodies, really, because even the Hot Rod face on Galvatron's body.
We're gonna take his face
Off. Okay, go ahead.
I also think that now I'm going to create a bare hands meme where it's basically just an image of Hot Rod being choked out, but I'm going to Photoshop like bear paws over.
We have great ideas.
You definitely should do that, and nobody will care. Ready it down.
Okay.
Excellent.
And
It's in the books.
It's in the books. First Prime, then Ultra Magnus. Now you.
It's a pity, really.
And we'll also briefly revisit the battle from the outside of Unicron. All of that next week. If you want to hear about it, listen to our show. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and TuneIn. All the social medias. I love them at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All of them at APOD and of course there's our web presence, AutopodDecepticast.com. Would love for those listeners out there to rate and subscribe on the iTunes.
5 stars, please.
And then also, don't forget about TFCon Chicago.
I don't know if we mentioned it.
Turning the page to remember the dates. October 26th to 28th. We'll be there walking around, probably buying toys and attending, but also, of course, we'll have our own 1-hour segment. Caleb is joyously raising his arms
the
and his
roof.
head.
And
it's going to be awesome. So come out and join us there. We're going to have a lot of fun.
I feel like I'm going to put some cop stuff up on the website
Oh, you should.
this week.
Fighting crime in a future time. You know, like, to him, he's just fighting crime in the present.
It's true.
Right. How does...
No.
There's a hole.
We'll figure that out later. We'll talk about it next episode. Bye,
Join
everybody.
us on our cops podcast.
That's right.
Fighting crime.
One week at a time.
Right now.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
good.
Right
Nobody
now.
take that.
Yeah.
All right, bye. Fighting crime right now.
Presently.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Homages,
Yeah.
as I'd like it. But I might buy it. I don't know. Probably not.
Sorry, Moss.
Speaking
Toys.
of things I bought before we get into it,
Yep.
I pulled these out, Caleb, just because you mentioned them.
Oh, the
other
Japanese. I was
day.
like, hey, you guys should get this. You're like, I already own that.
Well, yeah,
But no, I get it.
I've tried watching them, and it's really hard. I just like I can watch movies with subtitles, but this is dedicating I don't know, probably like 80 hours of your life to it, maybe even more, because the Transformers the Headmaster one, there's like 30 or 40 episodes on there.
Was this, what time period were these made? Were these made
Great question.
after G1?
Yeah, I mean, they all basically,
It's kind of just a continuation.
when season 3 ended, there was a season 4 that was like a 3-episode. They were like, we're closing it out. We're done with Transformers. And it was a really shitty take on the Headmaster's mythology. This erases that 3-episode thing and then just re-kicked it off in Japan with the Headmasters is the first one.
You haven't even opened these.
I know. I've only tried watching Headmasters, and I haven't even gotten through it yet. But then these, from what I understand, like the mythology takes a strange turn in these, especially because in these, they're all still robots, and you still have a lot of the same familiar characters, and you have I just have more of a connection to these characters.
To the Headmaster.
And in this world, yeah, the Headmasters, they are not they're not organic humans that were binary bonded to the Transformers when they got into a sticky situation. The heads are the actual Transformers, but they built these big bodies to connect to and make them more powerful.
I see.
And they also have the ability to like exchange heads all the time, and that makes them more powerful. If one guy's head pops off and goes to the other, and like these.
That's a
they
weirdly
get crazy,
big,
more powerful.
big thing in Japanese cartoons of like that's even in Scramble City where they combine into different forms. Like they accidentally the combiners become.
It's all about mega, bigger.
Yeah, it's weird, but like, yeah, that's definitely a trope in their anime is combining in different ways to get different powers.
So then this one, Super God Master Force, though, they took a different turn, and so this is where what we know of as the Power Masters came from. Mm-hmm. And so instead of making it to where the doing what they did with these guys and just saying, well, these are the robots and they're just in charge of bigger bodies as well, these are humans that as I understand it, I could be wrong about this, but the Power Master thing is it's humans that get these Power Master suits, and then these are the robots themselves don't have an identity. They're just shells, and it's humans that run the big robot. And so this character here, his name's Overlord. He was like the main bad guy, and he has actually two humans that snap into his chest. And then what we knew of as Power Master Optimus Prime is the same deal. They basically, the human that got the powers built his shell in the visage of Optimus Prime. and so
I like the Headmaster idea better, where it's they build bodies for their Transformer heads. Like, I don't like you still can just dump all the biological parts out.
I liked it. I actually thought that was better as well. And then this final piece, Transformers Victory, which I've watched none of this, but the main bad guy is named Deathosaurus. I don't have
That's not good.
I don't have a representation of him, but the main good guy's name is Starsaber, which they just did a reissue of the Masterpiece Starsaber, and I know nothing about the character. This gimmick was called God Masters. And I don't know if humans are involved or not, but there's a smaller Transformer inside that shell, and then it builds up into a bigger character. But because I bought that, then I had to buy the guy next to him because they're part of all three of those are from this universe of Transformers Victory. The guy on the right is a third-party toy homaging, I can't remember the character's name, but it combines with Starsaber. They make an even bigger robot. Wow. But I'm not going to do that because I just like the way that robot looks. His name's Victory Leo. Victory Leo is the character's name on the right. But they combine into a bigger thing. And then the guy in the middle is named like Sky Shadow, and he's just one of the random Decepticons. And that's actually a legitimate Hasbro product that came out from the most common line of Titan's Return. So that's a Headmaster product. He wasn't a Headmaster in the original run, but they made him a Headmaster for this recent run of toys. And I just always thought that was a really good-looking toy, so that's why I bought it.
And then you got Power Glide and Cosmos chilling down there by their feet.
Yeah.
You get a picture of me like reading it, looking at it.
You look so businessy. Caleb's checking his stocks while we're bullshitting about toys. Yeah, I told myself I wasn't going to collect these Japanese Transformers characters that I had no connection to, but I ended up thinking that those two in particular just looked really fucking cool.
They are definitely
picked them up.
Like this guy is definitely very like Ultraman, Voltron-y.
Oh yeah, you could tell particularly by the time they got to this Victory stage that they were going like full anime. Like there's no American influence anymore on the show.
We're taking this back.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Boom. This is a minute before.
Blow cells, where we sell good.